Hello, dear viewers. Namaskar. Welcome to Moksha Media. You are with Moksha Hiremat. 12th century AD, in the history of Karnataka, contributed a lot to the Kannada language, literature and culture. So many poets, so many Vachana composers emerged in that century, even though they were from downtrodden, oppressed and suppressed communities. And they did not know how to write poems, but they had the poetic talent. They uttered what there was in their mind and heart. What was uttered was recorded by someone and edited and deposited in the palm leaves library. Therefore, we see many Vachanakaras and Vachanakartiyaru, simply we can say poets and poetesses, in the language of Kannada and literature. They stood for a social cause. They united under the name of Sharana's movement. Basavanna was the leader of that movement. Now, Karnataka government has declared Basavanna as the cultural ambassador of Karnataka, as the cultural identity of Karnataka. Even after 900 years, the influence of the Sharana movement can be seen in the life of Kannadigas and others in the world. Of course, Sharana's movement was against the exploitation, gender discrimination, caste conflict, economic disparity, voicelessness, who voiced for their cause, and etc. etc. So many poetesses were also participated in that movement. For the first time, it can be said that in the history of Karnataka in India, so many poetesses were participated and voiced their cause. While struggling for the social cause, they sacrificed their lives for the sake of society. So many persons were killed, murdered, and elephant was trodden on them also. That was the punishment at that time. Now we are in the 21st century. Even though we face so many problems in the society, ours is a caste-ridden society. Here, caste conflict can be seen. Of course, that the caste conflict is used for political gain. The sharpness of caste conflict is not that much of intensive as it was in the 12th century AD. But even today, that conflict is continued. whatever movement is taken in India, it has the face of caste conflict. Of course, we should not fight for the caste. Instead of caste conflict and caste confrontation, we should have caste harmonization, because caste represents a profession. It represents a production. If you go against production, definitely it will affect the social fabric of the society. So here, it is better to have caste harmonization instead of caste conflict. Of course, now so many changes have been taken place, especially in Karnataka and India. Here, I would like to tell you something about a Vachanakarti, a poetess who composed vachanas in the language of Kannada and added a lot to the Kannada literature and culture. Her name was Mukthaayakka. Mukthaayakka was a mystic. She was born and bred in Lakkundi, now in the district of Gadag, and there she practiced mystic. She was a sister of Ajganna, another famous poet, another famous Vachanakara. Ajganna stood above Allama Prabhu and Basavanna in composition of vachanas. Ajganna was also a mystic. He was the only Sharana who attained Aikyasthala in the Shatasthala. Others dreamt of Aikyasthala, but most of them went to the extent of Sharanasthala and their development stopped there. But it was different in case of Ajganna. Ajganna reached Aikyasthala, he attained Aikyasthala, and he revealed to the Sharanas and others what did Aikyasthala mean. And Mukthaayakka was the sister of such a brother. Of course, in Indian society, there is a bond between brothers and sisters. We cannot see that bond in European culture, or simply we can say in Western culture. The bond between family members was very loose. It was not that much of bonding. Of course, they talked of this thing and that thing, but bonding was not that much of tight as in Indian society. And we could see such a bond between Ajganna and Mukthaayakka. Mukthaayakka was married to a Sharana in Masarakallu in Devadurga Taluk of Raichur district in Karnataka in India. Of course, we don't know much about her husband. As she was a mystic, she had not revealed that much of her husband, but she was very much attached to her brother Ajaganna, because Ajaganna was a father, mother, brother, and everything to her. He taught us so many things, and mysticism was one of them. Generally, a woman cannot follow and even cannot understand that mysticism and mystic. But Mukthaayakka was an exception to this. Mukthaayakka composed so many vachanas, but now we have 32 of them. And the signature of Mukthaayakka's vachana is Ajaganna ಅಥವಾ Ajaganna Tande. Mukthaayakka was an intensive vachana composer. Even she was a feminine gender, she was not afraid of facing the evil things in the society. She led the life of sanctity, that is Satvika life. Mukthaayakka followed Ajaganna, and Ajaganna taught her everything. And when Ajaganna died, of course, Mukthaayakka felt that everything was lost, because Ajaganna was everything to her. And it was Ajaganna who taught her mysticism, who made her to compose vachanas, and he was everything in the development of Mukthaayakka. So that is why when Ajaganna was dead, she felt everything was over. That is why most of her poems seemed to us as elegies to her brother Ajaganna. So when we go through the vachanas of Mukthaayakka, we feel the pittiness of Mukthaayakka regarding the death of her brother Ajaganna. She was in the mood of depression at that time. Sharana, that is Allama Prabhu, came to her and consoled Mukthaayakka over the death of Ajaganna. Allama Prabhu was not a small figure in the Vachana movement. She was a guru of gurus. He was a guru of gurus. He was a teacher of teachers. He was a poet, philosopher, mystic, and guide, friend and philosopher. He was everything. Such a personality came to her and consoled Mukthaayakka over the death of her brother Ajaganna. It shows to what extent Ajaganna and Mukthaayakka had a bond of brotherly and sisterly relationship between them. Nowadays it is very difficult to find that brotherly and sisterly attitude in the society. If we use brother and sister, automatically it gives a different meaning in today's context. But at that time, It was not. The relationship of brother and sister was very compact, was very well understood, and no one could misunderstand it. So that shows the sisterly and brotherly attitude in the Indian social culture. But this type of sisterly and brotherly attitude cannot be seen in other cultures as we see in Indian culture. So, Mukthaayakka revealed her mind in her vachanas. Her vachanas seem very simple but meaningful. Of course, they are rare, they are intensified. If we go through some of the vachanas, we come to know the personality of Mukthaayakka. Here, in order to reveal her mind to the readers, I would like to quote 3 vachanas of Mukthaayakka. That vachana goes like this. It should be like the blind leading the blind. It should be like the blind leading the blind. It should be like listening to the dumb reciting poetry. It should be like listening to the dumb reciting poetry. It should be like the reflection in the mirror that no one can capture. Brother, not being able to affectionate like the tortoise and its young, you have lost your higher status. Oh, Ajaganna. So, in order to show the sorrow regarding death of her brother Ajaganna, she used 3 similes. They are blind, dumb, and mirror. So, a blind cannot lead the blind. A blind or a dumb can lead the blind. But here it is vice versa. A blind leading a blind. She felt that she became a blind as her brother was lost, as her brother was dead. And a dumb one cannot recite the poetry because it doesn't know how to speak. One is dumb, and when one is dumb, how can he recite the poetry? How can you hear that poetry? So here, she became a dumb and reciting the poetry, but no one could listen to it. No one could hear it. Of course, it is like a mirror that captures the image. A mirror, when you before it, can capture your your image, but you cannot capture that image in your hand because it is simply a mirror. Now Ajaganna was like a image in the mirror. She could see that image, but she could not capture that image in her hands. So she addressed her husband, she was not being able to affectionate that much, like the tortoise and its young. That the tortoise and its young could not be affectionate. Even that motherly attitude was there. So that was the position of Mukthaayakka regarding Ajaganna. You have lost all your status by leaving this earth forever and ever. So then she prettily said, "Oh Ajaganna." Of course, here the Vachana turns into an elegy. In the beginning, simply it tells what is there in life, what is there in the society, what is there in the nature. But at the Vachana comes to an end, it becomes an elegy. Then she reveals in another Vachana, putting knowledge into the jars, this mortal world is chewing it away. Not knowing how to retain knowledge, the whole world is lost. How can I live, brother? For I am a skeptic who sees both darkness and light. Your yoga showed me the mirror, blindfolding me, O Ajaganna. Here, she told of that knowledge. That knowledge was put into the jars, not in the mind. And of course, when it was put in the jars, one could chew it away. But one could not know how to retain that knowledge because he knew only chewing. He did not know the importance, or one did not know the importance of that knowledge. When one did not know retaining the knowledge, automatically world was lost. Everything was lost. So then world became a mad world. So that is why she questioned her brother how she could live after the death of him. Because she was a skeptic. She knew both darkness and light. Of course, Ajaganna's yoga showed her the mirror, blindfolding me. That yoga blindfolded her, O Ajaganna. For one who knows oneself, that knowledge is the Guru. When knowledge disappears and forgetfulness is lost, that which is lost is the Guru. When the loss of seeing is the Guru, does it matter if there is no one to show the way? Does it matter if there is no one to show the way? The determination that establishes naturalness is the Guru. Even if one is a Guru, one should still have a Guru like my Ajaganna. Again, she showed the importance of Guru and the importance of Ajaganna as a Guru. He was not only a brother to her, but he was a Guru. He was a friend, a philosopher and guide. Of course, one can have the accumulation of the knowledge. And of course, as he goes on and on accumulating the knowledge, he forgets something. And when he forgets something, he feels it is lost. So he feels that Guru is also lost. So when Guru is lost, there is no one to show the way. That is Ajaganna dead. Ajaganna was died, and after her brother's death, she did not have anyone as a Guru, because her Guru was lost forever and ever. Of course, that determination had come to her help, and that determination establishes the naturalness. That the naturalness is the Guru, nature is the Guru. Of course, if one becomes a Guru, he should have a Guru like her brother. So, in almost all his vachanas, Mukthaayakka remembers her dead brother Ajaganna. Ajaganna was a Guru for her. He was a friend and philosopher for her. He taught mysticism to her, and he was everything to her. Mukthaayakka had lost such a sanctified, such a Guru whom she could not get in the coming years. If anyone wanted to become a Guru, he should be like Ajaganna. That is what Mukthaayakka told. She used signature Ajaganna in her vachanas. It is common in vachanakaras, At the end of a vachana, vachanakaras use signature of their favorite god or favorite person or someone whom or who touched their heart and soul. You can take any vachanakara, we can see the signature. The signature of Basavanna is Kudala Sangamadeva. The signature of Allama Prabhu is Guheshwara. The signature of Akka Mahadevi is Channamallikarjuna. Like this it goes on and on. So the same thing is followed in composing the vachanas. So the signature of Mukthaayakka is Ajaganna. Of course, these vachanas are very simple but intensive. In the beginning it seemed to us they are simple, but as they go on and on, they reveal us something about mysticism. They would become a secret one which we could not see. But we can feel that mysticism. And at the end of a vachana, of course, she reveals her sorrow regarding the death of her brother Ajaganna. So, a vachana becomes an elegy in the memory of her brother Ajaganna. So, that simplicity with the powerful meaning and elegy can be felt in the vachanas of Mukthaayakka. Of course, that is the personality of Mukthaayakka. That is the Vachanakarti Mukthaayakka. Dear viewers, subscribe and share, and we can see in the next episode. Namaskar.